Le groupe Fujiya Miyagi sur PUREchannel. Hi guys, thank you very much for coming to see us on PUREchannel. David, Steve, Matt and Lee, we're talking about the record, quite hard to pronounce, Ventriloquizzing. Talking with your Billy, is that right? Is that what it means?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, with the puppets or the dummies. Yes.
I think it's one of the most original records I heard this year. And my first question is to know if for you it's a new step. I heard you record with Tom Monahan. Was it different to work with him and to record with him? Did you change your way of producing your music with that record?
Yeah, we did, because we worked the way we always worked when we were songwriting, and then so we demoed all the songs, but then when we went over to America to work with him, he kind of took over with regards to how the recording process and how things are recorded and the production, so it was very different, and we were out of our comfort zone a little bit as well, which is a good thing.
What did it change the most? Did you had more analogical instruments, real instruments, than on the previous records? I'm thinking like balls.
Yeah. Well, our previous records were done mostly using a computer, just a computer, and a few keyboards as well. But everything was done within the computer. This was done in the more traditional sense, in a big recording studio with a desk and lots of old analog equipment and new equipment as well.
That on the previous record you tried with the drummer Matthew Avery. Yeah, is that you, Lee?
Matt Avery.
Matt Avery was the bass player before Matt joined.
But on that record, was it really obvious for you that you will be four on stage, bass, guitar, drums and keyboards?
Well, Lightbulbs, around the Lightbulbs tour, that's when Lee joined, and it pretty much was all Lee playing drums. We just found it a little bit tricky to record them properly. So I think on Lightbulbs you were on 2, weren't you?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why we wanted Tom to help us, another aspect, because he's very good at getting drum sounds, whereas Steve was always programming electronic drum beats, so it's a totally different thing. So I'm pleased on Ventriloquizzing we got nearer the live sound that we have when we're on stage, I think.
You didn't have to rearrange that much to play on stage?
No, not really.
This one.
Do you start composing your melodies on the bass? I was wondering that, listening to that record.
I mean, it all kind of varies. Quite often, say ideas start with bass lines, because if the bass line's good, the groove's good, and that can also dictate where the chords go. So the bass line's very important to us.
You had in mind that all your grooves are really sexual. There's that kind of sexual groove. I don't know.
It's sexy music.
Yeah, it's sexy music. There's one guy in New Blue that said it's my music is making baby music.
Making baby music. Yeah.
That fits for you?
Maybe.
Well, maybe for the listeners, not so much for us playing it, because you played the same song 100 times. It kind of loses the magic a little bit in that respect. But
Not for me. Yeah, not for me.
Okay, well, maybe it's just me. I need something new.
Yeah. Also, the sexual stuff might come from the voice and the murmured voice on many songs. It's the link in between all the songs, the way you put your text out on the music.
Well, I can't sing any other way, so it's what I'm stuck with. But in terms of, I always say this when we're in France and other places, but Serge Gainsbourg was a real influence, and when he started whispering, he began singing, didn't he? And then sort of around 67 or something, he started to develop this whispering style. So that has really influenced.
Yeah, I thought about Gainsbourg and listening Minestrone the more, maybe.
Yeah, Minestrone. Yeah, it's kind of maybe similar words-wise to Variations Summarily after the Man with the Cabbage Head, something like that. That's my favourite Serge song. So.
And of course, also because you shouldn't miss that. I think it's the 13 track or something like that. That's the way you did again the remix of 16 Shades of Black and Blue with the French version. That's also very, I don't know, there's a feeling of Gainsbourg behind you. Who's singing with you?
It's Jo.
Yeah, Jo Bramley. She's from Belgium. She lives in Brighton though. And I think the original
That was the idea, like a Jane Birkin Serge thing. Oh, yeah, I was pleased with that, how that turned out. But I don't speak French, so
Joe helped out.
Joe helped out, and our manager Martine helped translate it. So I was kind of copying her pronunciation. So hopefully it's not too bad.
No, it works really well. It works really well. There's an urgency on that record, and also I think apocalyptic moments that come from the keyboards. For instance, on Yo-Yo. Do you think the keyboards on that song, those songs that are really tight sometimes in the sound, allows you to go more progressive, more psychedelic, more?
Definitely with this record, you kind of there's more layers compared to say something like Light Bulbs or Transparent thing.
Yeah, I was trying to get a different keyboard sound in this record than from the previous one. So, and I suppose I guess it is more psychedelic. There's a lot more delays and stuff, and I get, and it kind of we were trying to get a dark feel with the record. So obviously the keyboards needed to kind of complement that. So
that was a compliment for me, but. Last question is, I've read many articles describing you as electronic, pop or rock and all that stuff. I think it's nearby a very modern blues. Do you agree with that?
I like that.
I like that, yeah.
I like that a lot.
Well, I think it's easy for when people talk about our band to say electronic krautrock. Even like on Light Bulbs we did a song that was like a Bollywood song, but we're still described as krautrock. So it's nice. So I'm happy with that description.
I like it a lot. Blues.
Tinsel and glitter, and you even say it. A pair of red shoes. You can't sing the blues with a pair of red shoes. You can't. Something like that.
I was just being cheesy.
But still, I think there's a very blues feeling. Do you agree with that, Lee?
I think maybe because a lot of the structures we use, obviously repetition, and some of the changes are quite simple, and in like traditional blues stuff that's similar, is sparse. So maybe there's a link there, I don't know.
And we're playing blues scales a lot of the time.
So it's certainly minor keys.
Yeah.
So
Apart from when I'm jazzing it up with my chromatics.
Sold to the devil at the crossroads, obviously. So.
And there's also a last thing I should say is the humor there is in the lyrics sometimes. I love the beginning of Universe, for instance, with the own voice, the chorus of Yo-Yo. And on the record I also thought, did you sometimes write your lyrics without music?
Yeah.
Poems, in fact.
Well, I always think that they're going to be on music, so I don't think of them as poems. But it's sometimes words can come before music or vice versa. But I just have lots of notebooks and I just write things down, and they often find a home. So I think Universe was the case. I had the idea of those words before we'd written the music. So it's quite a nice way sometimes working.
There was the band Fujiya and Miyagi. Don't miss their record Ventriloquizzing, and we'll see you on stage tonight. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.